All right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Companion to the Companion.
Episode 10.
Episode 10, we've made 10. And we are discussing 8/20/93 at the gorgeous Red Rocks Amphitheatre in Morrison, Colorado this evening.
Yeah.
It's, I think we both have things to say about it. And I would like to go on record having seen the 496 Colorado Red Rock shows as well. I feel like being at these shows makes all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like if you had been at this one, it would have been better than the listen back.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I feel like we're good then. Should we just wrap this one up and we'll move on to episode 11?
Yeah. Wrap it up. Decent show. All done. I thought... which was it? On the Fishnet, I thought it was great. On the You Enjoy Myself, the review of it was what I'd call an average great version for the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt about the show.
Uh-huh.
There were some really high points.
Yeah.
Parts I really enjoyed. Parts we can touch on.
Mm-hmm.
I think being there would have been special. I mean, the 96 4-night run was a magical experience for me. As a Phish fan, as someone who'd always dreamed of Red Rocks, the days before the show and the nights after the show were spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
The views, the friends, the venue, crazy experiences. There was the fight in Morrison. We got rushed out of the parking lot by riot cops in riot gear. The thunderstorms on the third night, the singing Purple Rain while it was raining with purple lights, the little note that got passed around to everybody so that the audience could collaborate on songs.
Mm-hmm.
There was the screaming back of the Harry, Hood! And the band laughing visibly at how crazy that was. I mean, it was incredible, but do I ever go back and listen to those shows? No.
Right.
And this might be the best of the Red Rock shows, but I don't know that warrants top 10.
Yeah.
Top 100.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that you could get me on board for saying that it's the best of the Red Rock shows. I mean, it has its moments. It has, I would say, kind of straight out, we had just done 8/14/93 with that second set, Antelope, that was kind of broken up. And I think that this, and we talked about how that's not necessarily a true Antelope. And I think this one is, and I think it's pretty incredible. I think like when I'm kind of looking back at the show or possibly re-listens, I'm thinking it's all about the Antelope for me. I'd say
the whole show is played spectacular.
It is, although
clean, clear.
I think there's so much energy. Like in the very beginning, I mean, you can even hear it in Trey's voice. Obviously, he tells the big Harpua story, which is really cool. But I mean, they're just so excited to be there. And that's coming through in the music. Everything's like, I feel like a little bit, I don't know if it's faster, but it's pushing, and it's kind of got a happy sort of, a happy vibe to it. So I'm sure you're right. I think probably the energy in that venue on that night was unbelievable. There's some unique set placement with the slave in the second slot in the second set, but kind of perfect for that beautiful venue. So they were definitely playing with their location.
Okay, first thing I want to say here, just to get things started, this is definitely the most incredible place I've ever played music. This is unbelievable. I don't know how it looks from up there, but it looks pretty amazing from up here.
But you're right, there wasn't a whole lot that's like, I gotta go back and listen. Wedge has a cool little jam. enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like the intro was different. They were trying to figure some of that stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all the short songs were tight. The Harpua story was fine.
Yeah.
The Divided Sky was fine. There were like this Ice Wedge. You know, everyone when it got released. I love the Live Bait series. I hope we have another one coming here with the tour coming up. But a lot of times it just makes me pissed. Like, I want to hear the whole show, but it's still nice to have. I'm not gonna complain. But the Ice Wedge is released as an official release with, geez, what episode was it? Volume 6. They did a whole Colorado one, and so it's cool to have.
It's on there. I didn't realize that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool to have an official release. I think it came out pre-Dick's run. But like, it's not that great, and I love how the Wedge has a like nice slow intro and it's kind of fun. But I think that's because they still hadn't quite nailed how they want to play it. And like, Maze was great, everything was great. Yeah, I just didn't, until it hit Antelope, I was not impressed.
Right,
and then that Antelope is above average, rockin', really great. But not. I don't know that that's what I'm going to go back to all the time.
And even that, like, I would say it's certainly no better than the Antelope from 8/28/93. 8 days later, which is the tour closer, and that has a really incredible Antelope. So even the great versions in the show aren't better than other versions. They're just a standard great version from that era. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, we did breeze through set 1. Mm-hmm. I thought the meat of the show was the Slave split combo.
Right.
I really thought the Slave was absolute A+ gorgeous.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
It is.
This is right after the zoo resurgence of it a few weeks before, a week before, where they brought it back out at the Cincinnati Zoo, and that one's good,
right?
But this one crushes, and I'm it's the only real re-listen, and the Split Open and Melt as well. I'll go back to that. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
a lot of fun improv, but it never. I want a jam that breaks ground.
Right.
There's no groundbreaking going on in this. There's just great execution, loving the energy, chewing on all the scenery and spitting it out. It's great, but I don't feel like they're breaking ground.
I agree.
And for that being the meat of the show, I thought it was great. And everything else, like, this is good. Mimi Fishman playing, the vacuum solo means nothing.
Right.
From a not being there perspective. And, Mango Song Freebird is your dream encore, right?
Sure, absolutely. It is my dream encore.
And the Mango Song was really great.
Yeah.
And it was high energy. I thought the playing was cool, and the Freebird was nailed. I've only seen one, and I remember before I saw it, it was on my list of I need to see a Freebird encore, and it was great. I enjoyed listening, but I mean, I would like to deeply dig into, did we collectively enjoy this less because it's not an official release?
No.
There was some hiss. There was some rough digi noise at points here and there.
Yeah.
Or you can hear it being edited out, which I didn't enjoy. This is the first show in a while that hasn't been an official release that we've had to dig through. And I thought that my listening experience was dampened a little, and I think that I'm a pansy because of this. It makes no sense. Am I that spoiled?
Yeah, well, I guess I can't definitively say that it didn't affect my listening. I don't know. Maybe it did affect my mood or what I thought of it, but I didn't actually consciously think, oh, this doesn't sound good when I was listening to it.
It just had some digi noise.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit hissy. But for me, I don't know, The Slave, for instance, it really is great. I feel like at the beginning, there's not that I really have a problem with it, but there's it's not perfect, because sometimes Slave is one of those songs that they're just nailing everything perfect. But then once it kind of gets going, it really is amazing. And the peak is so emotional, and it does have a sort of I could see that if it was an official release being this is a go-to, listen to this piece of music as a way to even turn it on Phish fans. But it's 9 minutes. It's only 9 minutes. They didn't take their time with it.
Yeah.
Especially for Red Rocks, where they could have really kind of whatever. I mean, they did that at later years, when they were in beautiful venues, and they kind of figured out that they can do that with that song. And I'm not going to put them down because they hadn't figured out what, exactly what Slave could do or Harry Hood could do yet. But it didn't do it. So I feel like even though it was great, I was a little underwhelmed by the
I think
Slave.
you touched on, I think, the problem with just all the August 93 we've been listening to, that I think, and I'd love to dig into the next portion here, being, we've gone through 10 shows. What's your favorite of the first 10? What can go off that list in the first 10?
Oh yeah.
But episode 8 was the Murat Theater, which is small, beautiful indoor theater. The next show, episode 11, is going to be the Schnitz, which again, gorgeous, beautiful indoor theater. That show is, I haven't listened to it in a little while, but every time I do, it blows my mind off. I can't wait.
Right.
But then the 2 shows prior to this, you're at Tinley Park in Chicago, which is massive, or the show prior to this. And then you have this show, which is, 7,000-8,000 people, 9,000. I don't remember Red Rock's capacity, but it's pretty big.
It's,
so
considering it's huge. It's it may not hold a lot of people.
It's physically huge.
But yeah, let's talk about the venue real quick, because I know, Red Rocks is everybody loves Red Rocks, travel from all over to see it, and it is gorgeous. And it's a really incredible place to see a concert. But I lived in Boulder for a while, and I saw a lot of concerts at Red Rocks, and it's a little problematic. If you don't have the right seats, it can really suck. If it's kind of windy or the weather is off, it can really suck. It's one of those venues where everything has to be just right. For everything to kind of connect.
The show was pouring rain.
Yeah.
It was windy as hell when the show started, supposedly. And I just don't think their sound fills Tinley Park yet.
Right.
I don't think their sound fills Red Rocks yet.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the band that quite figured out how to make Madison Square Garden feel intimate.
Right.
The big, huge, massive swoops and little subtle background, delay loops and things that create this massive, just especially, as a bass player, Mike Gordon hasn't figured out how to fill a room with one note.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this Slave at the beginning of the jam touches on, they're getting it. He plays one note for many bars at the beginning, and it is gentle and it's delicate, and you're like, God, please stay here for 5 minutes.
Right.
Please don't go running from here. Because I would like to go further that I don't think, Paul Languedoc had quite figured out how to build the sound into a larger room because they were still growing and growing so fast. One night they're playing an 1,800 seat indoor theater, and the next night they're playing an 8,000 seat outdoor theater.
Right.
So it's got to be hard from both band and tech perspective of filling that space.
Right.
So maybe the band had a great time. Maybe there was audience connection. Maybe they, slipped this soundboard out to everyone.
Yeah.
Which they did, so that people could really enjoy it thereafter. And so it developed this cult following and legacy, but I don't know that it lives up to the shows that surround it.
No.
I really don't.
No.
And I think that the Phish Companion, it surprises me that they put it in here because the Antelope gets, the only things that get headphones are what we're talking about, the Antelope and the Slave.
Yeah.
And when you're on Fishnet, people gush about the show, but I don't, I take a lot of that for granted.
Yeah.
But
no, I think it's a venue kind of specific thing.
Yeah, it's strange. And when you jump to the Schnitz, which we're doing later, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 headphones, 5 headphones. So more than twice as many songs where they're like, oh my God, you have to listen to these versions. And the Schnitz, you're halfway through the first set and you're like, is this the greatest show I've ever heard in my life? And I didn't feel that in this show.
Well, I
felt like that in the Mirror
It affects
show
the playing too. Right? Because the Schnitz is like a beautiful, ornate, small theater, right? Yeah. And so then their music becomes more ornate and detailed, and the communication is better. The communication's better between them and the crowd. And all the you so eloquently put just a moment ago about how they hadn't quite figured it out yet, because damn, they did figure it out. And even even into 3.0, there's been a lot of moments in 3.0 where I was like, they sure shit didn't do that in 1.0. Just in terms of just like how they're filling an arena, or just kind of playing with the size of venues, can be really entertaining sometimes.
How many times have we been to the Gorge together? I'll shout it from the mountaintops that 7/16/98 is an underrated show because that show changed me.
Right.
But just single notes, the Slave from that show.
Yeah.
It's half the speed of this one.
Right.
It's like a reggae version at the beginning, and then it is just this massive undulating beast. And so big and so thick and powerful. And this is beautiful and has this great peak, but then, a live one, which came out came out later, but the performance that's on a live one of Slave is a year from this, and it is vastly superior. This is a great version, but that's my go-to from this era. So, everything on here, I could pick a better version.
Yeah.
So it seems weird that it made it in here, especially for August 93. I get why it's here, but I also... let's dig into the 10, because there's other shows I would remove before this one.
Right. Well, we haven't even talked about the longest song in the show, which is the You Enjoy Myself. Oh. So we should just address the You Enjoy Myself real quick.
Okay.
I'm sure it was joyous and it was fun seeing it in Red Rocks and everything. But I will say again, I just re-listened to 828, and that also had a yam. And they were seriously very similar. I was like, wow, these yams are really, really similar. So yeah, I think it was standard for the era, but nothing special. But I did want to give a shout out to the 6/11 '94, which is the next time they played at Red Rocks. And that Yem is pretty great. I know I often see it on lists of greatest Yems of all time. I don't agree with that, but I do think Trey is just ripping it. Just a phenomenal Yem solo in the 6/11.
That show gets skipped over a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Like not at the Red Rock shows. They're not. I don't know. And then '96 they got banned.
Yeah,
which it had nothing to do with them, and we're not going to get into why there's shitty people that travel around with bands and don't care or about seeing the band.
Right.
But that really was the case in '96, and I think that when the Dead scene ended, there were just a lot of hangers on that had to go somewhere. But I'm glad they got banned in some ways, I guess.
Right.
Because they kind of outgrew that venue anyway. So
they did, and unfortunately, when I saw them there in 2009, which was like a big deal, and it was I guess the hardest ticket I've ever got, because one of them was even gifted to me for my birthday by a chef at the time. Chefs, Laura, thank you. That was so sweet of you to give that to me. But yeah, it was a mess, man, because Phish knew that they were too big for that venue. They played 4 nights there, and then they sold the seats at with specific seat numbers on the tickets. It was not a GA show because they knew it was going to be so crowded. But Phish fans were like, fuck that. It's Red Rocks. It's GA. We've been here before. This is a GA venue. And we just went in and people were just doing it GA style. And it was hard to concentrate on music because there was just all these people that were just I paid all these money for these seats, and these other people had just been we've been here all day. And it would just the vibe was just sucked out of that venue like a balloon, I thought. There was a few good jams that came out of it, but I certainly didn't feel like I was seeing Phish at my ideal venue. I think probably for most of us hardcores, we'd always prefer an indoor venue for the most part anyhow, but maybe not in these COVID times. I'm an outdoor guy now, but in the past.
Yeah, I remember one year, I want to say it was the second night of that 4-night 96 run. We waited in line super early.
Mm-hmm.
We're in between the little cave kind of area, and we waited, and it was 9th or 11th row center. Just off from center on Paige's side. And we were really excited. And we sat there. We waited so many hours. We brought cards. Because you have to wait 4 hours for the show to start. Mm-hmm. It's boring as hell. But you have good seats. And I think the night before we didn't, and we were kind of far up. And we were going to get close one of these nights, and that was our night.
Yeah.
And I remember standing next to Ryan, and we're dancing and having a great time. Somewhere 3 songs into the first set. I think it was a Yamar, it was summertime, perfect. And then eyes closed, having a good time, and you the benches there, it's wooden benches and then cement. You have enough room to see healthily over the heads in front of you. There's no obstruction. We open our eyes, and these 2 guys had walked and stood directly in front of us on our bench. And they were not dancing, they were just standing there with their arms crossed.
Been there.
And we kind of stopped dancing and looked at each other and just tapped them gently and said, you're going to have to go. And they looked at us like we were weird or couldn't hear us. And we're like, no. We waited all day to be here.
Yeah.
Leave now.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty big group of friends with us, and all our friends kind of were watching and stepped in a little and said yeah, you guys need to fuck off. Go.
Right.
And they didn't want to leave. And they kind of gave us these shitty looks and threw their hands up and walked off. Luckily, it's really loud there, so you couldn't really hear anyone talking.
Yeah.
Then they walked 10 people over and just stood there in front of these other people.
Yeah.
And those people had to do the same thing. And it just... I hate shitty people. I hate shitty people that try and take things from people who worked hard for them. And that's that moment. Of
sure.
Guys, if we all just came into this venue and had the concept of having a shared experience where we looked out for one another, this could be a utopia.
Right.
And there are shows that feel that way, but it's all about the people around you.
Yeah.
So my advice is bring 30 friends if you have them and surround yourself with them. Create an impenetrable bubble.
Yeah, I think over the years we all kind of work out our coping strategies for concerts because,
yes,
talkers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've lived a pretty privileged life, but I have concert trauma from talkers. I've discussed it in therapy.
Ma'am, I don't need to hear about this.
And just, I get it. If it's like a $5, $10, like a $15 show, sure. Talk a little bit, fine. But once we get up to like, I'm paying $25 or more for a concert, you need to shut the fuck up. This is not about Phish. We know this. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up.
Eyes closed, dancing around and having this wonderful experience, and you're just fucking yapping about
nothing. And at high pitch, I was seeing Juana Molina once at the Fox Theater in Boulder. It's like a small venue, but it's got a bar in there, and she's all by herself, and she's doing like the sort of loop kind of performance where she's got her guitar in a loop, an acoustic guitar in a loop, she's got a keyboard on a loop, she's got like a drum machine on a loop, and she's controlling it all herself, and she's got like 20 layers going, but it's all like really beautiful, delicate kind of like psychedelic acoustic music, and just this woman just round with that, and it worked, and then Bobby said, and I'm just, holy fuck. And then someone went up to her and asked her to be quiet, and then she yelled at that person, just like, I paid to get in this show just like you. And just, you see those people, and you're just like, were you sent from below? What is this? I don't know.
Well, I have an idea here. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Both of our states legalized marijuana. I can go, a 2-minute drive from here and buy whatever I want, and so can you. This is a brave new world. We're raising children where there's just a pot store down the street. I love this. And I also love to drink alcohol. I know you do not. I do. I think it's great. I sell alcohol. It's part of what paid for, my life. It pays for my life. We just start alcohol-free music venues.
Well, sure, yeah.
I mean, we sell weed here. It's like the Bill Hicks. It's like, if you're at a ball game or you're at a concert and someone's being annoying and loud, are they drunk or are they stoned? Like, it's the same thing. It's like, of course they are.
Yeah.
So let's have some venues, and certain bands will play there, where it's like, we only sell weed here, nothing else.
Right.
Water, juice, and weed. And we do not serve alcohol.
Right.
And they just pat you down when you come in, so no one's like sneaking in huge amounts of booze and like handing it out to their friends. And maybe you get a little lit on your way, there. Right. But you have to be able to walk and stay sober enough to get in the venue. So, I mean, at that point, you're only going to get more sober after you get there.
Right.
So that's a great thing.
Totally.
So I like to listen to music after I've had a few drinks too, but I don't need to do it.
Right. It's not, I mean, you can handle it or you can't handle it. It's just, there's two camps of people, really. And it's the same thing as before. It's just a consideration. It's just a thinking about other people thing. Because, even if you couldn't handle it, if somebody confronted you about talking too much and your response was, hey, get out of my face, that just, who responds that way? Yeah. And I don't care what I'm doing in my life. If somebody comes up to me and is just like, hey, you're really bothering me, I'm going to take that fucking super seriously, like whether I'm right or not, because I don't want another living creature around me that's upset at me. But apparently some people really thrive on that, and good for them. Great.
So top 10. Well, first 10 shows.
Okay.
What stays, what goes. Do you have a favorite? I have a favorite. Do you have a favorite?
Well, you go first since you have a very clear favorite.
I loved these shows. All of them in their own way. And I narrowed it to 2. I thought that the 3/20/92, our episode 3, was the complete package early Phish.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly played, really fun, good energy, enough improvisation. I really loved it. But for someone who really wants to delve into what, and hopefully every 10 episodes we can pick a favorite, and maybe we can create a top 10 list out of those.
Yeah.
And narrow this 100 down. But I think that 813, the Murat, was the best of the 10. I've gone back and listened to it in part since then, and I think it stands alone.
Well, I guess I would say that I'm kind of embarrassed to say I completely agree with you, but I would add that if we were going to choose one from the 10, I would have to choose 320 because if this is the first if this is the first in the group of 10, this is the first Phish show you're going to listen to, assuming that if we're choosing like a top 10, you're going to start at the beginning and move forward in time so you get a better picture of what the band sounds like. Yeah. Short of knowing that a person already knew all the studio albums, or at least some of the studio albums, I'd have to say 310-20 is a much better start than 813. Yeah. 813 is just
320 is for someone who's never heard this band.
Yeah.
And it will, like, it's ripping, top to bottom.
Yeah.
So it was tough on that number, but if you're someone who really is listening to this and is a big fan and loves shows, you know, I would lean 813.
I agree.
I'm glad we're supposed to like the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were definitely, it's tough, you know, because I think about just how much, you know, Ian's Farm, the 87 show, just how it brings just such joy to my heart, that show. I don't know why, you know, I mean, I don't know if it's tied into when I first heard it or what it is, or just like where they were in their lives. But just when I hear it and I think about the journey that they had after that, and that's where it started, it's just such a beautiful gem to me. And then just when I think about the 313 Antelope and just like that as a singular expression of a band creating art, and that ridiculous Hawaii jam in the middle, so fantastic. But yeah, as like whole shows, it's 320 and 813 for sure.
And what goes away?
Well, I think, we kind of talked about this last time, but I mean, I definitely think 820 can go away. And I honestly think 814 can go away too. I know we got the Schnitz on there, but yeah, there's some really great shows in August 93. And then you also talked about adding an 89 show on, which I think might even be a better suggestion. So.
Yeah, and I think 812 is better than 814 too. And I mean, if you're just going to pick from a couple days around there,
right?
And I would drop 41692, the Anaconda.
Oh yeah, right.
I think that show suffers a little from this one, where there's just a little too much fire.
Right.
And I love the fire. I just like, you know, I think 91 is underrepresented. Yeah. I just watched the Dinner and a Movie Arrowhead Ranch.
That's something.
I mean, we have no horn shows represented on this list.
Yeah.
And my God, those guys are such dorks, and it's such a cool thing. Like in 91, I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard this band at that point.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're at this outdoor venue. It's, it's not that many people. It's a few hundred.
Right.
And there's a lot of guys with big glasses and ponytails and no shirts on, and a lot of people just talking.
Someone said on Twitter that you should have a drinking game while you watch it and drink every time you see a female or you see a girl.
Yeah.
And then I said that to Susie while we were watching it, and she's like, how am I supposed to tell if they're a girl? They all have ponytails. Every single person has a ponytail.
I had one in 1991 as well, so I understand.
Yeah, she in fact said that she imagines that when they turn around, they all look like you did back in those days.
A few years later, but absolutely. Those were good days. And watching the band, I mean, Mike had his neon yellow-green outfit on, and Trey's got these little green short shorts and chicken legs. And, they're just such dorks, and the music is so good.
I didn't remember that leg move that Trey did. Do you remember ever seeing that? Or was that just like his nerve?
I think
do you know what I'm talking about?
A little bit.
Oh, yep. Okay. All right.
I think moves probably came and went just a little based on, like you have to watch yourself on video and you're like, this is weird. I mean, I know early on playing, I used to duck my head like a Joe Dart style, like really stick my neck out when I played.
Yeah.
And, after having to watch myself a bunch on video, I'm like, hey, I'm going to try to dial that back consciously when I'm on stage and keep more of a posture. And
right.
So maybe that.
Yeah.
But what I'd forgotten was every time I watch a horns show, how many cool horn charts were written.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
they're
like,
amazing.
you enjoy myself horn charts, and like, there's some songs where you're like, they become so integral. That, how did they do this without it?
Right.
Like Tweezer.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if you're really building blocking, the early parts of Phish, I think a horn show would have been good to add.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. There's an official release. There's this show, which I think should be the one. I mean, there's just so many good ones.
Right.
So, and 91 is really underrepresented. 91 is just so unrepresented on this list.
Yeah.
I mean, for reasons, but I don't know. I would put it on there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm down with removing 416. Okay, so we're removing 3 of the first 10. Wow.
Possibly bye-bye.
Okay.
But I mean, we're going to hit a stretch where we're so saturated, in the midsection with 97, 98, which I was at a lot of those. So were you. And I think that was potentially the band's best period, but also some of this youthful, vitality is lost then.
Yeah.
And this band's got something to prove, and it's impressive.
Absolutely.
Like I like it. And I'm excited about, we have a really good run still in 93 coming up. The next 3 shows should be great. So, yeah.
So 826 is next, huh? Okay.
Yeah, and then we got the New Year's shows, which will be really fun.
Yeah.
Also in Phish news, we have a bunch of fun Phish stuff to talk about. Number 1 is, have you been listening to the Alive Again podcast?
I have. I haven't watched, or I haven't listened to the last one, but I'm most of the way through the third one.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's nice hearing Trey talk. I think, it makes me want to go listen to more Tab, which I did, and, I have been trying, and I like it, sort of. I'm a Phish fan.
Yeah.
And I think all the side projects don't quite do it for me.
Right.
I thought Ghost in the Forest was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I get where it's coming from, and I get why he's so moved by the orchestration and the horns. I'm a little sad that he sort of maligns Phish a couple times as
he does.
One of his bands.
I felt that too. Yeah, it was just like, hey, you didn't need to say that.
But he lives. I in his defense, I believe that he just lives so in the moment.
Yeah.
That's where he is now.
Yeah.
He's grown so much as a player, as an orchestrator, as a person. His musical web is, used to be a handful of people.
Right.
And now it's hundreds of people. And he can go anywhere he wants, whenever he wants, and has that luxury based on talent and funds. So go for it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
No, and absolutely. And he's the type of artist that's influenced by others, who other people help him find the path to go down. And so I can understand. You're right. It's more exciting for him to be working with new people because they're opening new doors for him. But you're right. I did listen to a little more Tab. I really do love that 99 tour, that like May 99 tour, where it's just the trio.
Did you see them with us on that tour?
No, you saw them?
At the outdoor theater at SDSU.
Okay, that was the
that outdoor like sunken theater.
Yeah, that's
Is that 2000?
Yes, that's the 2000. But that's like with Tab. So the 99 tour was just him, Russ, and Tony.
I couldn't remember.
It was the trio, and so the first set was. Yeah. And this was it was exciting at the time. Remember, Brian gave us the DATs or something because Trey was doing the first set all acoustic.
Yeah.
And then the second set was with the band.
Yep.
But they were doing like Ooh Child and, like First Tube and Heavy Things. And
yeah.
But
they didn't have a lot of songs.
I can see clearly now. But some of those covers were like really great. Like Ooh Child has some killer jams on that tour. I went through and listened to them, but there was this one. It was like a 10-minute jam from, I want to say Cleveland. I'd have to go back and listen to it. But yeah, goes super awesome places.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I listened to but like a solid half of the new Trey Beacon shows or his solo shows that he just played, where he has new orchestrations from Don Hart and from the Jeff Tansky, the piano player. There are really some stunning moments to the point where I'm at the point where I'm like, I want to see this more than I want to see Phish. I want to see Phish, obviously. I didn't mean to put it that way, but I really want to see some of the Trey orchestration stuff. Especially I like it with the quintet, and the way he kind of improvises on his acoustic is really neat too, doing his looping.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That segues nice into, I'm not seeing any shows on their tour. Mm-hmm. They're kind of not really hitting New England very much.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd go. Are you going in October?
I'm going to San Diego, and I'm going to Santa Barbara.
Cool.
And that's it. I'm skipping
Where's
LA.
Santa Barbara?
At the Santa Barbara Bowl.
Oh, great.
Yeah, like I only want to do
great.
the outdoor shows. And
yeah.
And frankly, based on how the news is going day to day, let's see what's happening.
And wear a goddamn mask when you go,
when the time comes. Yeah. So
that was a big sigh.
But yeah, so I am doing those 2 shows, but I can tell you the indoors freaking me. But yeah, if Trey was doing like one of those shows at like a small venue that was outdoors, I'd be beside myself excited.
Well, I'm paying attention to all these shows that have been coming out. The Oysterhead shows that just came out, were just released. I never was a big fan.
Yeah.
I perused, and then I thought, he's doing this little mini tour with Tab, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about these Phish shows. I think getting the behemoth that is a Phish show rolling, and I remember when they came back. There were a number of reasons, but when they came back from 3.0, it took, 8 years for them to get back to 7 years for them to really get back to nailing it every night a little bit better. And still, even then, I don't know. I would say I always dream every time there's a break.
I know what you mean, but really, for 3.0, if you ask me, the real problem with the beginning of 3.0 wasn't the tightness. It wasn't any of that stuff. It was just that Trey hadn't figured out how to improvise again yet. He just didn't have the ideas yet. He wasn't comfortable enough on stage to get the ideas. But he's flowing now. He's full of ideas. Sure. So I think if even the band is sloppy and they're not necessarily super locked in, that could be a really good thing, because the last couple tours were them just doing these sort of micro jams because they were so tight and kind of locked, that maybe they'll be a little sloppy, a little bit looser, and let Trey improvise a little bit now. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
We just took a glass half full, half empty view.
Good. I would say that explains my entire 3.0 Phish life with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten to see some really fun shows in 3.0. I remember, I went almost 10 years not seeing the band, and then I saw that show in Manchester that was just, the dinner and a movie a couple back.
Right.
And my friend and I were, he was a drummer I played with forever, and he's he goes on Phish tour all the time, and he's younger than me and never really saw any 1 or 2.0 shows, and it's 3.0 Phish is all he knows, and he just got me a ticket. It's you're coming. You could get the night off. We're going together.
Yeah.
I'll drive you. We're going. And I went, and we were dead center, way in the back of the theater. And I remember it took a song or two, After Midnight, I think was the opener.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I felt like that show spoke to me, because there were all these songs that had these moments in my Phish career. I was at, Big Cypress.
Yeah.
And to have After Midnight open that show was real touching.
Yeah.
And then, there was just some real moments, and I walked away from that show floored.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, I really love this band. I haven't been paying any attention for so long. I've just been, playing music and listening to other stuff, and I get to dig back in, and digging back in didn't quite get me there.
Right.
And I've seen some shows since.
Yeah.
And I'm the happiest guy at a show when I go.
Right.
I'm not, I think I was probably more critical when I was seeing them a lot.
Right.
Than I am now. And I would think if they were playing near here, I might go. But I'm also, I don't know. I hope you have a good time. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. This is not like the old days. I don't go to shows thinking I'm going to see the show or I'm going to see this amazing performance of improvisation anymore. I don't know why that left me. I don't know if it's because I don't need it. I would assume that's probably why. I suppose if I needed to see something like that, I would be seeking it out. Because I do feel like I needed Phish to deliver for real, or I was going to be disappointed. But I guess I've kind of crossed the line where it is kind of I don't want to say it's necessarily a nostalgia thing, but it's more like fill in the gas tank with gasoline sort of thing. I
go
happy
to be there.
And just being in that environment and just soaking in that music, it just fills me. It just fills me with life and fills me with good things. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's anyway. I was just thinking of the Trey plays his 46 days at this Beacon show he just played at. And it came on and it's just he's just playing 46 Days acoustic. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, I don't really need to hear this, and then a couple minutes in, he just starts improvising a little bit and just kind of looping over himself and kind of going off on this sort of ambient jam. And like 5-6 minutes later, I was like, wow, that was I just went on a real trip with Trey. Took me on like an improvisational journey real quick with this just like real simple solo noodling on the outside of 46 Days. And as this old man that listens to screaming all day for my kids, I guess that's what's taking me on the journey more so than a big blowout, 46 Days! Like it just does it less for me now. But yeah, there is an energy thing when you attend a show that is unmatchable in any area of life.
Yeah, I keep being told I'm supposed to do that. You're supposed to like get out there and make sure you make time for yourself, and it doesn't fit all the time, but I try. And we have this, which brings me to, and I guess us to, what are you listening to and what's been moving you? And I think my life has been changed since we spoke last. And I know we spoke about it, I think possibly both of the last times we talked. But I've watched at least 3 complete times and listened to more than 15 times all of Bo Burnham's Inside.
Yeah.
And I think
I just watched it again last night.
It is one of the best things made in 2021.
Oh yeah.
I'll make that statement. Visually or auditorially, as an album standalone, it blows doors. Like there's a little bit of a repetitive style of how the songs are written. It's kind of like verse, chorus, and then there's this post-chorus gorgeous melody. It's very piano player-y kind of style, and I think he taps into that style a number of times throughout the piece. But it is it's incredible stuff.
Yeah.
It hits on every level. It is sad. It is funny. It is deep. It's super shallow.
Yeah.
It pokes fun enough at society to piss off the people that it's about that don't get it.
Yeah.
Because the people that do get it and do those things actually get it. And they're like, that's so funny. Yes, that's totally me.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's doing in a way.
The people that don't, it's everything. Yeah. It really is. It's everything for what we're going through now. And I don't think anyone has tackled the pandemic. I mean, we're going to have a lot of fucking pandemic art down the road.
Yeah.
Here. But if this is the signpost at the beginning, I am excited.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this, all of us being fucking stuck inside for so long to breed something.
Right.
Other than just anxiety and stress.
Right.
And this was the first thing. And it's laying down the gauntlet hard.
And it does make you laugh really hard. Yeah, it has some like stranger moments, and you're right, it covers the whole rainbow of human emotions, but there really is just some funny shit in it. So yeah.
Some of the sad is funny the more you watch it or listen to it as well.
Yeah, and it's also one of those works of art like anything else that's like so great that you, as someone that likes to create, I watch it and it just kind of makes me feel like shit about myself. And I don't say that as like a bad thing. I say that as a good thing. I think like sometimes art is so good that you just like, fuck, that was so good. Like he got up off his ass and he like did it while the rest of us were just like sitting around moping. And not only did he do it, he did it so great. And he like tapped into like, so I mean, Phish does it to me all the time.
I could put my kids to bed every night and done that.
Yeah.
And I did not. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
As a painter, I feel like it's easier to listen to great music and not get down on myself, because sometimes if you like look at great art, you start to really feel like shit about your own art. You're just like, damn, I'm never going to be that good. So I feel like there's probably a few comedians out there that watched that and thought, fuck. I don't know.
Well, touching on that as well, the other amazing thing I've experienced since we talked was, my first art museum experience since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we went to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston Mainly, my amazing wife got us tickets for our birthdays, but it was because it was the last week of the Basquiat exhibit there.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I thought, I purposely looked nothing into it. And we went, and it was not just Jean-Michel Basquiat's work, but it was all of the late 80s, early 90s hip-hop artists in New York.
Mm-hmm.
It was the entire basement, which was, I want to say, 8-9 rooms.
Wow.
It was absolutely life-changing.
I bet. Wow.
I mean, all the artists, you get to the end of it, there was clothing too, like clothing that Blondie wore in Heart of Glass, like there were the actual clothes worn on, like they were showing on these vintage TVs, all these old hip hop artists, and then next to it was the jacket or the shoes they were wearing that were painted on by these artists. Like it was unbelievable how there were albums that were released then where there was a collective art piece on the back of 6 albums.
Right.
So they had all the fronts, and it was like a bunch of different musicians, and you go around the back of the case, and it's one giant art piece along the back. It was, and then the last room had all these UV lights shining on this 3-dimensional creature that was built out of like found trash and broken instruments that looked like this giant, like musical warrior god that was life-size, like a human, but even bigger. And every room you went through was it just took your breath away.
Who was
every
that
single
by?
room? And I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I would look into the exhibit.
Okay.
It was one of those things where everyone was taking pictures of all the people that did all these things, and I don't like to take pictures.
But it was all from the 70s.
I stayed out of it.
It wasn't like there was no new work in it.
No.
Okay.
Mostly 80s. Mostly mid to late, well, I guess early to late 80s.
Okay.
But there's some pure graffiti artists, and then there's artists that just kind of joined the scene but just did painted works.
Right.
I mean, Basquiat's work is definitely stands alone in the group, I would say. But there were some other really, really great pieces. And there's some artists that I find more detail, intricate, little tiny characters and things inside of things. And then there was a lot of work that was just big, broad strokes, much more graffiti style, like big swooping lines. And and I really liked that work too.
Yeah.
So it reminded me, and then the rest of the museum, they have some great stuff, and they've turned the whole 3rd floor into, I can't remember if it was women on top or women have the floor, but their whole 3rd floor is all female artists now.
Oh, okay.
And that was incredible. I think some of the best work.
Wow.
And like, I know that you get up to the 2nd floor and you go towards the modern art and there's a Jackson Pollock. And it's like, I haven't been to a museum in a while, and you just, you get stopped in your shoes.
Sure.
Like it, and you spend time there, and we had all day.
Yeah.
And, it reminded me of what that is.
Yeah.
It reminded me of why we need to be around other humans, and why we need to enjoy collective art as a species, and not sell fucking Bitcoin art. Like it's different. Art needs to be visceral, not, can you believe how much that's worth?
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
This was very visceral.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds incredible. I'm just kind of like imagining it as I'm listening to you, and then I'm like kind of visually imagining it at the same time.
They have a refrigerator there, like in the first room when you walk in, that it's like a 3/4 size fridge, like what you'd find in a New York apartment. And it's all gutted and ripped apart. And I guess it was in the art space where a lot of these artists hung out, and you had to tag the fridge in order to hang out there. It was just everyone tagged the fridge. It was part of the thing.
Yeah.
And they have the fridge. Like, just looking at that and spending time, like every little nook and cranny has these, it's all black, and it's a white fridge and it's all just black.
Right.
But it is unbelievable, all the styles working together. But there was a collective vision of art that is represented. And everyone had their own tag. Basquiat had the little crown, and everyone had their own little tag, and it's amazing. But yeah.
I just like your comments just set my brain on a treadmill of just sort of like. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to recommend?
I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm strapped with music these days. Like everyone keeps putting out singles that are good, but like there's a Leon Bridges single I really liked, but what's been like 3 since the album. The Felice Brothers just put out a couple singles that are great, but I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm sitting on my hands.
Yeah.
Digging through old music, especially stuff you send me.
Yeah, I really love that Lee Hazelwood album, Cowboys in Sweden, soundtrack to a weird 60s movie, apparently, that I've never seen. But yeah, I've listened to it many, many times. And I think like at first listen, it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of cheesy or whatever. But I think when you really give it a chance, the lyrics are incredible. The arrangements are incredible. It has this sort of like ghost-like, spooky, like psychedelic country space to it that is very soothing and very picturesque. I had a really incredible moment with my 6-year-old son where he was kind of pissed at his brother and me, and he's like, I'm gonna go in my room and just build a puzzle or whatever. So he's like in the other room, and then I'm with Rio, my younger son, and we're building Legos in another bedroom, and I kind of set up the speakers and we're listening to Cowboys in Sweden. And the last song, I have it on shuffle, and the last song comes on, and it's like a duet between a man and a woman. It's kind of spooky, and there's like a little bit of storytelling in it. And then when the song's over, I hear Bowie from the other room just kind of say, and mind you, he's 6-year-old, and he never says stuff like this, but just the song ends, and he says, "Actually, that was a really interesting song." I was like, what? Never said anything like that before. And he like came in, and I'm like, can you tell me what was interesting about it? He's like, actually, it was about this, whatever. He tells me how, whatever his interpretation of the song was. I always zone out the lyrics. I'm like a music guy. So I took his word for it. But it was a great moment.
Can it be the companion to the companion, a podcast where two dads try and trade secrets on how to get their kids into good music without actually trying to push it on them? So I work real hard.
Yeah. You know, someone mentioned like a long time ago that that kids do really well with like story, like lyrics that have stories in them. Because they can kind of like latch on to it and like kind of think about the story and kind of imagine it. And then it teaches them to kind of see the music as color for visuals for the story that they're imagining. And I try and think about that like when I'm choosing songs sometimes, but it's tough. Like when you think, because I'm not a lyric guy, I'm so much of a music guy. When I think of songs, I always think of like, well, what's catchy musically? I never think about like what's catchy as like a song. I suppose some of Bob Weir's cowboy songs are probably pretty good. I don't know. We'll have to.
Bob Dylan songs, but like
but Bob
like
is very abstract, and he's got the sort of harsh harmonica and the weird voice.
Some of that mid period though, like the ISIS record, maybe in there.
Yeah, definitely done a Desire. Well, last thing I want to say, Sam, is just because this is a Phish podcast, I'm going to end it with some Phish stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I have on many occasions suggested that you listen to 2003 Mazes, but if you want to just like listen to great Phish from a period that you haven't delved into very much.
You want to hear the click of my pen? I'm going to write it down to remind myself.
I'll send you some specific dates, but if my recollection is correct, every single Maze from 2003 is great, and there's at least 3 of them that are absolutely mind-blowingly outstanding.
The end of our podcast, because I'm going to be so sad once we get up into the 90s. There are some shows that are past 1.0, and I don't listen to a lot of those, and I've tried.
Right.
It's going to be pretty awesome to be forced into those, and at the end of this journey, weigh them against all the rest.
Well, it's, I love that attitude. Good for you, Sam. But I don't... I'm not a believer in comparing the eras because I just think they're just so different. It's hard to compare them.
Past and
it's hard to compare.
Try to just focus.
Yeah, it's hard to compare 97 and 2000. Like, how do you compare 97 and 2000? It just doesn't make sense. Like, how are you comparing 97 and 93 or something? Like 93, 94, that's a little bit more reasonable. 97, 98. Sure. But they change so much. And they were just going for such different things in the different periods that it's hard to say, oh, that's better than others. But I don't know. Before we go,
I like to dance.
I did just want to give you a couple of dates here on these mazes because I feel like just 2003 mazes.
I'm ready.
That's ridiculous. So I want to say the 3-1. I'm almost there. Hold on.
Oh, take your time. Ooh, I get on hold music.
Okay, so 226. The 719 and the 12-2. I'd start with the 12-2, then go 226, then go 719.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On it. I got that counted down.
Okay.
I can make that happen.
Great. Well, great talk.
Yeah, you too.
Let's wrap it up, everybody.
I promise.
Next show is making it on the list.
Yes, episode 11 will be a lot more talk about the actual show we're coming on the episode to talk about. But, Red Rocks is a beautiful place, and, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe the show doesn't make it. But, our marker for good versus bad is higher than most.
Indeed.
That's a good thing.
All right.
Damn the Philistines.
Damn Philistines. All right. Miss you, Sam. I'll
All
see you
right.
soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Hello there, friends, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to reach out to Ian and I about anything at all, you can find us at companion2thecompanion@gmail.com.